is October 9th. I am headed to my buddy's farm in Wisconsin. It's about 5 hours away from Minneapolis, and I am so freaking excited. I'm going to be hunting there for roughly 5 days with a 2-day break in, and I've been hunting for the last 20 days in Minnesota on public land, so this is going to be definitely a little bit of a change. His farm is about 90 acres, 45 of which is woods, and he has a couple travel corridors that connects some bigger chunks of wood, so the farm definitely holds deer. So I am very, very excited about it just from the change of pace. I'm really the only person that hunts there. It's a smaller farm, but I've been able to, for the last 2.5 years now, really kind of set up the property by adding some permanent stands, trail cameras, cutting shooting lanes, doing kind of all of the groundwork necessary to hopefully be successful here at the farm this year. The farm in itself is a regenerative farm. Luke, who owns the farm, is not only the reason that I started hunting, but has completely changed my perspective on really the way I look at everything, and food specifically. He bought this farm 5 years ago. It was a farm that had crops and rotational crops like almost every other farm that you see in the Midwest, and he put in the effort to bring nutrients into the ground, have animals, have them rotating, and how he looks at food, nourishment, how animals interact with each other, and how they build up the land, and how we use that to nourish ourselves is something that's truly unique from both a farming perspective, but also a wildlife and hunting perspective. So it's awesome for me to come into this farm and have such an appreciation for the wildlife, but also appreciate the animals that are being raised there and treated and nourished. And when I go to the farm and I get to hunt from there, it's like I am eating farm fresh food, everything from eggs to cows and pigs, and all not just organic, like labeled organic, but truly organically and regeneratively raised, which is just not something that you see. And I think that hunting is an amazing thing, but a lot of times that us hunters, we get caught up in the minutia of hunting. We get caught up in the rack size, we get caught up in the trail cameras and the strategy, and all these things that are so extremely fun and interesting and play into the sport aspect of hunting. But when you take all that away, the purpose of hunting is to harvest food, and to do it in an ethical manner that allows you to support yourself and your family and your friends. And that is what I need to always remind myself of, because I'm just like everyone else. It's like I think of that as well. I have bucks on trail cameras, and I'm like, oh wow, do I want to pass up on other bucks that I would potentially shoot to wait for this one that I've seen on the trail camera? And it's like, of course, I want to be able to play the game, but I need to make sure that the essence and the focus of the hunt is not the sport, but the act of collecting food to nourish yourself. And that is really why I got into hunting. I've been talking about venison and having venison sticks since I've been 13 years old. I didn't grow up hunting. I was never introduced to it from a young age, but as soon as I started caring about my health, I started lifting, I started understanding the benefits of protein, I always wanted a sustainable way to collect that protein. And I knew that hunting, and specifically like bow hunting, is eventually a route that I wanted to take. So I was given a bow from a family friend several years ago, and kind of one opportunity led into the other, and obviously Luke's passion, interest in sustainability, land management, farming, nourishment, kind of all led me down this path, and now I am so foreverly grateful for not only like our friendship, and me being allowed to hunt there, but just everything that he's been able to teach me that has not just instilled like an interest or a passion, but truly a way of life and a way of how I consume food to continue living as a human and another animal on this earth. So 5 days hunting, I'm gonna hunt as hard as I possibly can. Of course, I'm gonna do a little bit less aggressive approach as I'm doing on the public land, but I am excited, grateful, and ready to go.